Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend.
And joining us is our podcasting brother from another mother, Adam Riske from F This Movie. Hello, friend.
Hi, friends. How are you?
We're okay. We're just... We are dorking out about 1986's Running Scared. We're finishing our run of Chicago movies, and this one is written by Gary DeVore and Jimmy Houston. It's directed by Peter Hames, who also did The Presidio, and it stars Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal and Jimmy Smits, and who else do we want? Dan Hedaya. Who else?
Darling Flugel.
Stephen Bauer.
We got Stephen Bauer.
Yeah.
And we got John Grease, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
Oh, and it's Peter Hyams, and it's pronounced Yimmy Smits.
My bad.
It's okay. I just wanted to say Yimmy Smith because for some reason that was like, he was like on NYPD Blue when I was like in junior high, and I was obsessed with that show. And then for some reason I told my friends in school, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if his name was Yimmy Smith? And they were like, and they laughed. And then I was just like, this is a slam dunk joke. And I kept it.
It really is. I know, Adam, you definitely did not see this movie in the theater. You would have been way too young. But Margo, did you see it in the theater?
Oh, absolutely. This is like a buddy cop movie. I was there. That's pretty much the premise. You got me.
Yeah, I definitely saw this, and listeners will know, I saw this with my mom. I saw it with my mom. 15-year-old Sonia went to the movies like every Sunday with her mom, and we definitely saw Running Scared. When did you first see it, Adam?
I don't remember really. I think I kind of remember, but it was something that I was aware of growing up because I definitely remember being like 4 or 5 and my dad having the VHS that he rented of it and him like not liking it. But I think it's just because Billy Crystal was wearing a Cubs shirt. And that was like a big no in our household because we're White Sox,
right?
A White Sox family. I think the first time I actually sat down and watched the whole thing was our friend Patrick Bromley was hosting a movie marathon for his birthday, and it was like 24 hours, and you could kind of like come as you want, like come and go as you please. And for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna come for like the overnight. And then we watched Running Scared, I think at like 4:30 in the morning.
Nice. Did it play well at 4:30 in the morning?
There was a lot of stuff on this rewatch that I didn't remember. Yeah. So I'm thinking that in my, sleepy, groggy dream state, it did play well enough. And it played even better on this viewing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I do want to say I wrote a list of things I like about the movie, and I really like Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, like chemistry. I thought that they had really good chemistry. They feel like buddy cops. Like
absolutely.
I really, really like that. I don't think they're good cops. I think they're terrible cops. But I think they have really good chemistry. I really liked them together. And yeah, that's my list of things No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Should we run through the story?
Try to make sense of it. Yeah.
I
found it a little confusing sometimes.
But Margo, this is where I rely on you to break it down for me.
I got a little confused a couple of times. There's a couple of MacGuffins or whatever they call them.
Yes.
I think I could do it.
Oh, okay, good. Thank
All
you.
right, do it. Break it down for us.
Okay, so Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal played Chicago detectives Ray Hughes and Danny Costanzo, and they are 16 years into the job. They are 4 years away from their pension. They are kind of renegade cops, but like very shticky cops, which of course you find in Chicago everywhere are the shticky cops. And they are trying to arrest Julio Gonzalez, played by Jimmy Smits, who is trying to be the next Al Capone of the city. Although we need to get into that later because he's like really bad at what he does.
I think everybody in this movie is really bad at what they
Everyone's
do.
terrible at their jobs.
Yeah. But Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines are trying to get to Jimmy Smits through arresting one of Jimmy Smits' underlings, played by Joe Pantoliano. Then there's a situation with a failed bust. Captain Dan Hedaya suggests that Hines and Crystal take a break, go on vacation. So they go to Key West with some money that Billy Crystal recently inherited. The two of them fall in love with life in Key West in one of the greatest movie montages ever put on celluloid. They decide to open up a bar and retire from their career as police officers. However, when they return back to their job to finish out their 30 days on the force before retiring and being officially civilians again, they realize that Jimmy Smits, who they thought that they arrested and is in jail, was bailed out of prison and is now roaming the streets, continuing his criminal enterprise. So they're determined to stop him before their time as cops runs out.
Good
Very
job,
good.
Adam. I'm going to clap. Yes, good job.
That was well done.
Thank you. All I did was I looked at the cast list while I was talking, and I'm like, what did these people do?
I think where I was confused in the plot was it opens with them kind of on their stakeout. They introduce, was it Jimmy Smit? Is that how we pronounce his name? How do we pronounce it again? Himmy Smit? Yimmy. It's Yimmy Smits. They introduce him. He runs off. They arrest Snake. Then there's like a dead body. Like it turns out to be an undercover cop, I guess. And they're immediately like, well, obviously it's Julio Gonzalez. And I'm like, why? Why is it? It's Chicago. It's a really big city. It could be anybody, right? But they're just immediately they go to him, and I felt like they're trying to pin like every crime in Chicago on him. And I was really confused at why that was a thing. But it's because it's that kind of movie, I guess. It's just every crime is committed by Julio Gonzalez in this movie.
He's a part of everything. And then when they have a drug bust, they come back and they have a drug bust. And then it turns out, it's all over. Like there's a lot of chase scenes here, but when they finally get the drugs, he's told it's shit. Is it good shit or bad shit? It's bad shit. So that's good shit? No, it's shit. And
who's on first?
Really? Yeah, exactly. But it's bad. It's really bad cocaine. Like putting that into the neighborhoods is going to get that person killed because they're going to have a lot of upset customers. And so then they're like, well, then who really did it? And then we have this whole sequence where there's a priest and a nun coming back from helping the Indians, as they say, going through customs. But Jimmy Smits greets them, and then they're all in a car together, and they go down. The cops are following me here as I say the story.
They're coming to get you.
They're coming for you. There's a whole scene where they're tracing. Is that an L train that they're chasing? But it's very exciting, as you could tell.
Yeah.
They're
coming for you.
That car chase is pretty awesome because I've never seen that before, where like there's two cars on like elevated tracks like chasing each other in a movie. That's for Chicago action movies. It's unique and pretty memorable. I do find it really funny that they basically make it from Rosemont by the airport. It's because like I can see the signage where it says like they get off on River Road. And River Road right now, it doesn't look like it does in the movie. Right now it's like where all the convention centers are and like the entertainment district. But they drive from there to Van Buren, which is like in the heart of downtown. and they make it there in like about 6 minutes, and it's pretty great. So like that's only something that like if you're local like will kind of amuse you, but it was pretty funny. But I think that car chase is pretty awesome.
Oh,
I
love
just
it.
like to see cars get hit by trains like in movies.
Look, we all like that.
You know, because everybody's okay and it just looks cool.
Well, it's kind of this cartoon violence in a way. Yeah. And so they're still going, they try to arrest the priest and the nun, and then they have to apologize to them. So that whole scene, it's kind of funny when the nun whacks him across the knuckles. I laughed. I thought that was kind of funny. But they still have to get Yimmy Smits. And Yimmy Smits is basically saying to them, he gets their car and he gets it so that it's like on this vice thing, like it's like a hydraulic lift.
Yeah.
And then the car can be crushed. And he's saying, look, I'll give you 180 grand. You could start your business in Florida. Just leave me alone. Like how he knew all of this and whatever. But they're saying, no. And then the car kind of flips over, but nobody really gets hurt. There's a scene where Billy Crystal gets shot, and it must have been just a real nick on the shoulder or something, because he's really not that hurt. He kind of he's yucking it up this whole film.
Yes.
And the only time he's angry is when he's around Darlene Flugel, who plays his ex-wife, this exceptionally pretty woman with nothing to do except follow him around and go, don't leave. No, I'm marrying a dentist. Bye. No, I love you. Oh my God. And then get kidnapped, spoiler, by Yimmy Smits.
I did laugh out loud when they tell her that they're retiring, and she's like, you're retiring? And he says, what do you care? You're going to be busy fighting the war against tooth decay.
There's a little hint for When Harry Met Sally, that energy.
Yes. That
angry ex-wife energy that he's throwing out there. But we know they're supposed to be together.
So I need to address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And I need you two to answer this question.
Yes.
Is this Billy Crystal at his most fuckable?
I love that you asked this question, because yesterday Margo and I had a conversation about that around Running Scared, Throw Mama from the Train. There was this push in Hollywood to make Billy Crystal kind of a sex symbol, and I was like, I reject that. I don't think Billy Crystal.
We both thought it was laughable.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like, okay, so Running Scared, I think, is the last breath of him being, you know, like, I can walk around with my shirt off and it's not like kind of weird, like seeing your dad with your shirt off. It's like, did you ever see This Is 40 with Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann? So there's this scene at the end of the movie where Paul Rudd's in the hospital because he gets hit on his bike by or gets beat up or something. And Leslie Mann is in the waiting room and she's talking to Albert Brooks. And she's talking about how Paul Rudd just keeps getting better looking as he gets older. And then Albert Brooks says something to the effect like, yeah, it's surprising because all Jewish guys end up just looking like me at a certain point. And it's like, and I think like that's what happens to Billy Crystal by the time of When Harry Met Sally. Like he metamorphoses into Albert Brooks.
See, I can't take my eyes off of Gregory Hines. I find he's incredibly fuckable. And it's sort of like why Darlene Flugel would, go for Billy Crystal versus him is beyond me. I just think he's those eyes alone and his smile, he's dreamy.
Yep.
I just think he's so cool in this movie. Like,
he is.
I think Billy Crystal is really funny in the movie, and I don't always think that he's funny when he's trying to be funny, but especially later in his career. But like in this, he's really, really funny. And Gregory Hines is like, if I needed a moment to win me over where I wasn't won over already, it's the scene where he knocks on the door and then gives the middle finger to the little kid.
He's like, yeah. And he wears the most amazing half shirts, the most amazing half shirts in this, like through the whole vacation montage, like every shirt is like a half shirt. I'm like, Gregory Hines looks really, really good in this movie.
He's a dancer.
I love him.
Did Key West have like? Did the Board of Tourism donate money to this production or something? Because I mean, like, I'm going there first thing after like this COVID stuff cools down. Like, apparently it's just like the beacon of like where all restless Chicagoans go. Because I'm just like, I did not know about this, but I do need to get my ass to Key West.
The scene where everyone's standing around watching the sunset and they're like, did something bad happen? And they're trying to figure it out. That literally happened to me when I was in Hawaii like 8 years ago. I went and everyone got really quiet all of a sudden. And I was like, oh no, what happened? And I was like looking and I was like, oh, is somebody hurt? And the waiter's like, it's the sunset. Everyone was watching the sunset and I felt so stupid. I was like, this is like running scared. It totally happened to me.
I had something like that happen at the White Sox game where I was getting like a Polish sausage with grilled onions, and then the woman just walked away from her station and she's like, it's the national anthem, I can't do it. And I was like,
wow.
I'm like, I didn't know that we could pause this transaction for the national anthem.
Yeah. I love oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say I was gonna mention with the Julio Gonzalez, I said like how bad he was at this. Two of my favorite things are his entire criminal enterprise rests on about 5 oversized Ziploc bags of cocaine. And also my coke. Yeah, it's so funny because he says that like after every bag. He's just like, bag 4, no. And then also, I love that he barters with them over everything. Like, it's like he's really like, he doesn't want to hurt them. He just wants to like cut a deal for them to leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, even before he offers to like pay for their bar free and clear, he's like, hey, well, what about this? What if I do this? And then they're just like, no, we're still going to come after you. He's like, oh, Jesus. Like, it's funny because he's supposed to be like the Nino Brown in New Jack City of this thing. But like every time he sees Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, he's just like, shit. There's no like bravado of like, fuck you, I'm the man. He's just like, oh, crap.
He kind of wants to join their team. Like, I think he sees them having a great time together. And he just wants to join the banter.
He doesn't have any buddies like that.
No, they've got each other.
Yeah.
Maybe Snake was his buddy.
That's true.
Then he killed him.
All right.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is that building, Adam? That very end when they kidnap her and she's in the elevator and they're kind of, is that a mall or something? Like, do you know where that is?
It says that it is the James R. Thompson Center. It's not something that like people talk about all that much. It's on Randolph Street in the Loop, and it is for the Illinois state government.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was a big space. And Jimmy Smits, they tried to kill him. And then he does that thing in the movies, like in Die Hard, where Alexander Goodenough like shows up like, not dead yet, and tries to shoot everybody. And then it just sort of leaves, they shoot Jimmy Smits, they actually kill him. And then they kind of, Darlene Flugler and the other two, they're kind of like, all right, let's go. And I get the feeling like they realize they love each other and she's an appendage. Like she's, they could just go off together.
Oh, yeah. They get back. She dumps the dentist.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't. No. I think Gregory Hines and
Oh.
Billy Crystal. Yeah.
You think Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal run off together?
They're the couple.
They're in love.
They love each other.
It feels like a weird defeat almost at the end of the movie that they decide to stay cops and that they're not going back to Key West. Because I feel like that could have been like a television series that lasted 10 years where they're cops.
Missed opportunity.
And now they're running the Key West bar and they're kind of like fish out of water,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting into their shenanigans, and like I feel like that would have been like a slam dunk CBS show or NBC show after Cheers.
To compete with Miami Vice against Miami Vice.
The timing, right?
Yeah, I feel like even if they don't speak it then, I think it's kind of like throw her to the side. She really doesn't add anything to the plot. And just take off with them.
This actress, rest in peace.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I'm R.I.P.ing all over the place. Yes.
Yes.
She's gone, and sadly, I think it was Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
she's very
early.
young. Yeah. I mean, she's beautiful, and she's in a lot of different things in the 80s. She was a model before.
I love that you guys think this is a sad ending. This is Adam. This is where they could have done the sad version of Sweet Freedom over the credits.
I mean, like, I think they think it's a win, but it's just me as an audience. Like, the montage in Key West is such a high point.
Yeah,
it's like something that could cure depression. Like, if you like, that's better than going to therapy. You just watch the Key West scene from Running Scared.
Yeah.
And it's like you want them to get back to that. You want it. It's almost like the Shawshank ending, but instead they decide to meet up at the prison again.
They're back in the tunnel. They crawl back in. No, that always bums me out too, because I thought the same thing. Like, I'm so excited. Like, we have to talk about Michael McDonald and the video. I mean, like that video is also like a tonic for my brain. It makes me happy. Like, that's like a visit to the therapist there. The song is great, but it has all that joy that scene that in that montage has in the movie. They have it in the video too. And it's like, what are they want to go back to Chicago, working for somebody who screams at them, and where they don't have great relationships. It's cold.
And they're shitty at their jobs. I'm sorry. They're bad cops. They're bad cops.
The other cops don't respect them.
That's one thing I was confused about, because it's like they screw up Stephen Bauer and John Grease's operation, and those guys are like DEA agents who were like undercover trying to take down Jimmy Smits. And then like later in the movie, like they have to show them the ropes like they're rookie cops. I'm like, but they're DEA agents, or like they're undercover cops. Like, why would these two, like, you know, aw shucks detectives be above them? It's very confusing.
It's very confusing. And, you know, like I said, I saw this back in the day and I super loved it. It's very entertaining. And I'm like, but watching it now with like through a modern lens, I was like, these guys are terrible cops. Like, they're constantly like punching people in the face. They don't read them the rights. They're shooting up like
almost tattooing people.
Yeah, almost tattooing people, shooting up cars. You know, like when the guys try to mug them and they're like, let us keep our photos and our badges. And then they chase the car and they shoot it up. And I'm like, you could have like murdered those people over a robbery, but whatever. But also all kinds of property damage. They, at one point they meet a woman in a bar and Gregory Hines hooks up with her because the woman is obviously really smart and knows that Gregory Hines is the one to hook up with. And and he constantly is like they show up at one point and like arrest her boyfriend for no reason. So now her man's like spending the night in jail for no reason, just so he can like hook up with her. And I'm like, these are terrible things. It's still funny, but if it happened in the real world, they would be fired.
There'd be consequences.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the buddy cop film, which I do like. I do enjoy. I like that banter. I like the back and forth. I like their goofiness. I like Chicago in the background. But like Adam was saying, and that I feel the same way. Like, once they're in Florida, I'm like, why can't they just keep the movie in Florida for a while? Yeah. Why do they have to go back? And then the lesson is that they're not going to pursue their dream. They're going to keep doing what they've been doing. That's not fun.
Well, I think they're trying to convince the audience that, like, no, them being cops is like their you know, their dream. It's
that's
like where
their sweet freedom.
But it just feels like such a like an about face or like a compromise. It feels weird in that sense. But this movie's structure is very strange too, because it's like the first act is they try to take down Julio Gonzalez, and then the captain forces them to go on vacation.
What a punishment, by the way.
Yeah. It's like, how long were they down there too?
Yeah.
And then the second act is like, it starts in Key West, but then they're back in Chicago. And then it's like the third act is like they're staying in Chicago. It's just very strange, like how the structure of the movie is, because like once you get to Key West, it feels like this different movie. And then when you come back to, you know, and one thing I will say is like, I really like the depiction of, this is like a recognizable Chicago to me in the sense that like, it's like 8 months of winter and almost winter. And are we out of winter?
Yes.
It looks like all the snow is dirty and it's just like, it's kind of melted, but it's like April. It's like, what is going on? But yeah, it just feels odd, like for them to kind of come back after that, like the movie opens up and like we're in this, you know, like warm, beautiful locale. So, you know.
Yeah.
It's such a strange movie. I'm thinking, I can't stop thinking about what Margo's saying, which is that Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines are in love. That makes so much sense to me with other things in the movie. Like, Gregory Hines brings that woman home, and the next morning, like, Billy Crystal comes in and like hangs out while she's like still in the bed and asks how she was, like right in front of her. I was like, ew, that's gross. And then when they're down in Key West, they're just swimming in chicks. It's like a different, yeah. It's like nonstop, but it always seems like Billy Crystal's always watching Gregory Hines hook up.
Gregory Hines is so beautiful. Who wouldn't want to watch him? I mean, R.I.P. of all R.I.P.s in this cast.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good looking and so charming. He just has that, and it just, they're getting banged constantly in Florida. They have this job that they can create for themselves. You know, they're young enough to, you know, start their lives over. They're either 34 or 36. There's a big discussion about that in the movie.
Yes.
And they choose Chicago, and it's like Billy Crystal and Darlene, they don't have a ton of chemistry.
Right.
I mean, she's awful pretty, but why would you want to be with this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be with the dentist. You at least have great dental care for the rest
He's
of your
probably the
life.
one person in the movie who's really good at his job.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't see it, but yeah, he's probably really competent.
Yeah.
They're always needed. They always make money. They're always needed, and
I feel
they
bad
have
for
free dental care.
She needs, as the band Climax might say, she needs a man-sized love, and that's what Billy Crystal provides.
I just don't buy it. I just like that very last scene. If you guys look at it, very last scene, Crystal and Hines are looking at each other.
Yeah.
And she's like trying to touch Crystal, like trying to be included in their together. So like, and that's what I heard brain go, oh, they love each other. Like,
I'm going to rewatch this movie after we're done recording with this in my mind. And I think this is going to take this movie to a whole other level for me.
I think they'll enjoy it.
But this isn't like necessarily a trope that's unique to Running. I mean, Running Scared came before Die Hard, but if you remember, like Die Hard, it's like basically like John McClane finds Holly, they hug, they kiss, they reunite, but then once he sees Al Powell, it's basically like, Holly, move to the side.
Yeah.
This is what it's really about. Yeah.
Well, how did Holly and this guy and Bruce Willis, how did they get together in the first place? They look like they hated each other from the word jump. It's a very I'm not like rooting for this relationship.
Yeah, I think in like action movie, in like just the history of action movies, it's like the protagonist, like having one really good like guy friend is so much more meaningful than having a girlfriend or a wife.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Billy Crystal's ex-wife because they have this, they have this conversation where, he says he's going to retire, and she says to him, like, I wanted you home more. Like, being married to a cop, I'm sure is very, very hard. And she probably
Yes.
asked him all the time to like leave his job and retire. And now they're not together anymore. And she's marrying someone else. And he's like, I'm going to retire. She's probably like, you fucking prick. Like, I asked you a
Yeah.
million times to retire. And now he's like, I'm going to retire.
But she didn't take him to Florida, Gregory Hines did.
I know. That's exactly what happened. See,
That's
they're
what
going
happens.
to be together.
It's like
Really?
Armand and who am I thinking of from the bird cage? Like it's their own version of that.
I really like their clothes in this movie because it reminds me of the scene in Friends where Joey's like, could I be wearing any more clothes? And he just puts like, everything that he owns. Because like Billy Crystal's like wearing like a button down shirt, then puts like a Cubs jersey over it, then wears like suspenders, then puts on like long john underwear
And a
It's just
scarf.
Like, it's like a
Scarf
scarf, and it's just like a vet, like it looks like a Vietnam veteran's jacket, and it's just like whatever I own, I'm putting on.
He's wearing all the clothes.
The layered look. There's a lot of layers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes you need it in Illinois, but like, yeah, it's just funny. I don't know.
And then Gregory Hines has the half T-shirt when they're in Florida, when they're
Yeah.
rollerblading. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
skating all over the place, just swimming in pussy.
He's changed from like Chicago hats to like a Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat. Just like he's committed. He's set to go there.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that they arrest that woman's boyfriend and he has to spend a night in jail just for no reason other than he wants to bang his girlfriend. It kind of takes me out of the movie.
Yeah. It's not
For me,
great.
though, it's like Gregory Hines is so likable on this, where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
like,
let
the
it
ends
slide.
Justify the means. Yeah.
Yeah, they're constantly getting like served subpoenas for like violating people's rights. And you're like, yeah, sure. That's fine.
Mhm.
Why not?
Yeah.
No one's perfect.
Mhm.
No, they violated all kinds of people's rights and sent them to prison. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Should we just talk about just the Sweet Freedom video?
Sure.
Is it? It's filmed and video at the same time. Was it like? I guess some of it's clips from the movie, but some I don't know. Never
It
mind.
looks like they shot the music video at the same time that they filmed the Key West scenes in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And there's this whole thing about like Michael McDonald sends them a postcard while they're in Chicago, like, wish you were here or whatever. Then they go down to Key West and they like party in the bar with Michael McDonald. And before we started recording, I was talking about the woman in leather. Like she's wearing like a leather studded hat and like a leather studded bra and like a leather skirt, and she's like jamming to Michael McDonald's Sweet Freedom. It just seems really out of place. I don't know.
I always am such a mark for like the music video where the movie stars show up in the
Yes.
music video for and like they're into it, because you could either go one way or the other, where it's like I'm gonna walk in the background and look cool or something like that, or you could have like the "You Could Be Mine" music video where Arnold Schwarzenegger's glaring at Axl Rose, or like in Sweet Freedom, where these guys are just like, it's party time 24/7, and
Yeah.
our buddy Michael's here, and like at the end of the video, it's like Hines and Crystal's faces singing, and then they go off to the side, and then right in the middle is just Michael McDonald being like, it's magic. It's like like in the Princess Diaries when they moved the two like dowdy Anne Hathaway pictures, and then she's like beautiful Anne Hathaway.
I'm also a sucker for the movie stars, the celebrities being in the videos, because I remember I loved the music video for Jewel of the Nile. When the going gets tough, when the going gets tough with Billy Ocean, and it had like Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito pretending to be backup singers, and I was like, I love this video. I loved it.
They committed. They committed to it. They were backup singers. They looked like they were really into it. That movie is terrible.
It is a terrible movie. Terrible.
I'm thinking of Man in Motion. It's from when he just walks around and just like nods towards Judd Nelson. And,
oh my God, it's so funny.
He
walks around and he takes a turn like sitting by each of them, and like he like puts his hand on their shoulder like somebody died, or like it's the bar's all empty, like it went out of business and everything's been repoed. It's such a weird video. Oh, that song. Oh my God. Everyone go back and listen to our St. Elmo's Fire episode. It's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Are you two fans of other Peter Hyams movies?
What are the other movies? I'm sorry. Could you tell me?
Yeah, no. So I have not seen anything he's made prior to Running Scared, but he had like a 12-year or 14-year career directing movies. So like this is everything. So buckle in. There's like 20 movies. Okay. It's like Rolling Man, Good Night, My Love, Busting, Our Time, Peeper, Capricorn 1, Hanover Street, Outland, The Star Chamber, and then the sequel to 2001, 2010. Then he did Running Scared. And then after this, I've seen like almost all of these. It's The Presidio, Narrow Margin, Stay Tuned, Time Cop, Sudden Death, The Relic, End of Days, The Musketeer, A Sound of Thunder, Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, and Enemies Closer. So he became basically like the main Van Damme guy for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I've seen like 3 of them. Mm-hmm. That I can remember.
I really like Sudden Death a lot. That's like one of the best Die Hard knockoffs. And I thought Stay Tuned was surprisingly good when I revisited the movie like a year ago.
That's the one with John Ritter, right?
Yeah, that's the John Ritter one. Yeah.
I forget.
Is that the one where he wears the glow-in-the-dark condom?
That's Skin Deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about that one, too.
Yeah.
What was Stay Tuned? Is there something with a fantasy remote control or something? Or am I thinking of Click?
Yeah, the devil, played by Jeffrey Jones, so good casting, gives them a satellite dish, and it sucks them into the satellite dish, and then they have to hit, and then John Ritter and Pam Dauber have to go from channel to channel and then like interact with the shows that they're on in order to get out of the satellite dish.
I love John Ritter.
Wow.
I love John
Pam Dauber.
I miss one movie, and Pam Dauber is married to Mark Harmon, who was the
star of the Presidio.
Look at that.
I had such a good time when we did the Presidio. I would rewatch the Presidio.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I know, Adam, you love to play this game. Would you choose Running Scared over the Presidio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you pick Running Scared over Sudden Death?
No.
Yeah.
I've got too much history with Sudden Death. I like Sudden Death so much that once I went on eBay and bought a promotional Sudden Death hockey jersey that says Van Damme on the back.
Nice.
It says Van Damme #1 on the back.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's got like pit stains, so I've never worn it, but it's in safekeeping.
That is still awesome, though. I should watch Sudden Death.
Stains.
I'm writing down Sudden Death. I think that would be a good rewatch for me.
While we're talking, I'm going to go on eBay and see if there's any movie memorabilia from Running Scared that we could buy.
Let me know if there's
some. Good one.
Let me know if there's some half shirts.
All right, we will do.
What else do we want to say about Running Scared? I'm going through all my notes. Let's see. We like the car chase. They're shitty cops.
Well, Sonia, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think Darlene Flugel and Billy Billy Crystal, their characters, are they still together?
No.
Right.
No. She got sick of his shit like within 6 months. That's my prediction. That they slip right back into the old routine. And she's like, oh, that's why I left the first time. And she leaves him again.
Yep.
That's where I think. What do you think, Margo?
Oh, same.
Yeah. What do you think about Gregory Hines and the woman whose boyfriend they keep arresting?
They're still together.
Yeah.
But she's still with that guy, too.
They arrest him every weekend.
Yeah. We could buy a Japanese mini poster that looks hilarious. It's like, I think the regular poster is pretty great, but I gotta send you to the picture of the Japanese poster because it looks like a soda ad, and it's like Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal like holding guns in the air and then running like on top of cars. And it's pretty great.
Oh, I see it. I see it too. I just Googled it. Yeah, I see it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just want a gif of Jimmy Smits yelling my Coke over and over. That's all I want. Sure, if it doesn't exist, I'm going to have to make it.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity for like a Super Bowl ad for Coca-Cola.
Totally.
Also, where it's just like Billy Crystal has like a 24 pack and then Jimmy Smith is with every can is like, my Coke, my Coke.
I love that. I would love it. I would drink more Coke. It would work on me. I wouldn't do more Coke because I already do a lot of Coke, but I would drink more Coke. I do so much Coke, you guys. I don't.
Well, it's September. I get it.
Yeah. Tis the season.
Yeah, it's Coke month.
Yeah. I went to the IMDb trivia because, you know, I wanted to see what people thought was interesting. And this is my favorite. So 24 people thought this was interesting, that the apartment that Snake lives in is the same apartment building that Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Kimball hides out in The Fugitive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, 24 people thought it was interesting. So.
I do. I agree.
That's when they arrest that guy who looks Dennis Franzi.
Yes, exactly.
And then they take him to the police station, and then they give him takeout. And I remember, and every time I see that scene, I'm like, I want takeout.
Adam, what is your favorite Chicago movie?
The Fugitive.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Yeah. I think it's mine too.
Yeah. I had a thing when I was growing up where like people pushed the John Hughes stuff on me so much that I kind of resisted it a little bit. But The Fugitive always felt like mine. That was the one that really kind of gravitated to.
Yeah. Out of all of the Chicago movies we watched, it was probably my fave. I mean, I do love the musical Chicago, but I don't think that counts.
No.
Not actually filmed in Chicago. So.
No, I don't feel like any of those three were from the city proper.
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about some other movies that came out the same month as Running Scared?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Raw Deal.
That's a Chicago movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I totally forgot that. I remember liking it at the time. I haven't seen it in a long time, though. Oh, here's another Chicago movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, wow. Yes, of course.
This was all the same month?
Yes. It was the month of Chicago. Space Camp.
I love Space Camp.
I remember.
That was also in Chicago and space.
Oh, Margo loves this one. Back to School.
Love Back to School. That's a great movie.
It's one of Margo's faves. Legal Eagles.
Love Touch.
You love Touch. Is Legal Eagles in Chicago? I better look it up because I'm like, what if it is? I'm looking it up. Legal Eagles. Where does it take place? Oh, it's just showing me posters. Lame.
I feel bad for the people at the box office at movie theaters who had to hear like person after person being like, legal eagles, legal eagles, legal eagles.
Running scared, running scared, running scared.
Legal eagles, running scared, legal eagles, tweet freedom.
Space camp.
Space camp. Space camp.
Yeah, and then like the people seeing Ferris Bueller's Day Off was probably, or they probably stopped at Ferris Bueller. They're
Yeah.
like, one for Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always found fascinating is like, when do people stop saying the title when they buy their ticket? Because it's always like, there was one time where I was going to see like Batman or something, and this woman just goes, one for Honey, I Shrunk. And it's like, she just like couldn't be bothered to say the kids.
That's a weird place to stop.
It's like, I'll see Don't Tell Mom, but I'm not saying Don't Tell Mom that the babysitter's dead.
Also, American Anthem. Do you remember that one?
Is that animated?
No, that's the one with the gymnasts.
Oh yes, with Janet Gretzky, Janet Jones Gretzky.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another video. Take It Easy by Andy. What's his face from Duran Duran? I remember. All these
Andy
videos.
Taylor. Andy Taylor.
Yeah.
That's right. Labyrinth.
I never seen it.
I don't like it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
I've
Karate
seen
Kid.
it maybe like 30 times. I saw it in San Francisco.
Wait, you
at
don't
the
like it?
Castro.
You don't like it, but you've seen it 30 times?
Probably, yeah.
You're trying to convince yourself to like it? Is that you keep watching it like maybe this time?
I'm just like a fan of puppets and movies, like the whole like Dark Crystal, like Henson thing.
Yeah.
So I always think this is going to be the one. And like, there's certain things I like in the movie that bring me back to it. Like, there's a couple Bowie songs in there that I really like. And then like, Jennifer Connelly's performance is a bit unhinged, which is enjoyable.
I would definitely rather watch Labyrinth than Requiem for a Dream.
Yes, that's not even. Yeah, Rob picked that for my book to talk about Requiem.
Yeah. He told me he was watching The Wolf of Wall Street to detox after watching.
I was gonna say.
I don't want to ever rewatch Requiem for a Dream. Like, no.
Yeah, it's no.
Last two movies, The Karate Kid Part 2.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what I really remember is the song For the Glory of Love.
I like the drums that they have at the end.
I should rewatch The Karate Kid Part 2. And then the last one is Ruthless People.
I loved Ruthless People. I don't know if it's aged well, but that's another Mick Jagger song. Stand up, Ruthless People.
You sounded just like Mick Jagger.
I've worked on it.
Yeah. I love Margot's
I've
impressions.
been workshopping it.
They're my favorite. Margot's impressions are my favorite thing.
I can sing like Mick Jagger. I just have to be in the moment, but I have for karaoke.
Do you have the moves like Jagger?
I do.
Okay.
It's a lot of bouncing in place. It's not that complicated.
A lot
It's
of like
a
pursing your lips and
It's like a lot of your hand on your hips and then bopping your head forward.
Yeah.
And then kind of jumping up and then stop and then looking around and then walking forward. I know mixed moves.
You really
Big fan. I do. Big fan. Okay, do you guys want to hear some of the big hits of 86?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Run DMC and Aerosmith, Walk This Way.
The song is still awesome.
It's dope. Cameo, Word Up. Word Up.
I love that song.
I know.
Adam's like all these oldies. There's our all
No,
oldies.
I'm doing the gentleman's silence until I hear one that I like.
Okay. How do you feel about this one? Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling. Yeah, thought so. Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Song.
It's no Simply Irresistible, but it's a good runner-up.
That's a good runner-up. Prince, Kiss.
That's a good song. Look at that. He's so quiet. So quiet.
Falco, Rock Me Amadeus.
Big hit in my junior high German class, or my high school German class,
Nice.
but otherwise, pass.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And finally, the number 70 song of that year, Michael McDonald's "Sweet Freedom."
Yeah.
Only number 70? That's wrong. What's wrong with people of 1986? That song should have been way higher.
There's a lot of good music that year.
Well, not according to Adam.
I know. Well, I was just trying to pick give a flavor. I didn't want to just say the usual shit that people say. I wanted to.
I don't know why, but I think my favorite thing this episode is that you mispronounced song and said shong.
Me?
What?
You said that shong, and I like the word. I think shong is just a fun word. I don't know.
Shong?
Did I say that? Because I'm the one that mispronounces things all the time.
It just reminded me of like Sean Connery in the Presidio. He would be like, "This is a good shong."
There's a good song.
Have you ever heard Kiss? It's one of my favorite songs. My daughter's a flippin' a gibbet.
Nick was desperate to have like a solo career in the 80s. He was on a bunch of soundtracks and he had a couple of albums come out. It's just like, just be with the Stones, dude.
Yeah.
You need Keith.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, this was really fun. I can't wait until we all get to hang out in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Next weekend.
I'm going to bring Adam some Coke. My Coke.
I'm going to bring some egg cream.
I also like how I think there was on one of the bags of Coke, it like said like 8.8 pounds. I'm like, you're really not hiding this, are you?
They wrote Coke on it. It's like,
Yeah.
It says Julio's Coke on it so that his roommates wouldn't take it.
They hum cocaine as they're delivering it.
It's like I wrote S asterisk on this one because it's the shitty Coke.
The Coke's the shit? No, it's shit. Good shit? No.
Like asterisk X is the shit one, but like the shitty one is the other way.
I like to imagine now that Julio Gonzalez had roommates, and that's why he wrote everything on that. Don't touch my Coke. It's got my initials on it. My Coke. Adam, where could people find you on the internet?
No,
you can't.
No, I write and do podcasts at the website F This Movie. It's the letter fthismovie.com. And then you can find me on Twitter at Risky Adam, and I retweet all of my articles and podcast appearances like on Dorking Out over there. So if you're looking for everything in one spot, that's where you would go.
Adam is one of my favorite movie critics. I love reading Adam's stuff. Did I see that you and Rob are going to start doing videos together?
That sounds a little dirtier than it me.
I didn't.
Really
in a Billy Crystal Gregory Hines way.
Yeah. It's like it's just our autofocus parties. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, we have a column every Thursday called Reserve Seating, which started as just a shameless knockoff of Siskel and Ebert,
yes,
and has become a less shameless knockoff of Siskel and Ebert. So we're going to do it on video and become a full-on shameless knockoff.
I love it.
I love it.
I will watch.
Yeah. So we're doing our dry run of that tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But it should be fun.
That is so fun. My son is obsessed with YouTube videos, and he just randomly says, like and subscribe. And I was like, what is he talking about? Just like and subscribe. I'm like, okay. That's his way of saying goodbye to people now. He's like, bye, like and subscribe. Margo, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fit Chick, and my site is brooklynfitchick.com.
And Margo is currently working on a book about movies that are filmed in Brooklyn. So you should follow her on Instagram for sure, because she is posting really cool photos of all kinds of different movie sites.
Please do.
I can't wait to read Margo's book. And you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, where I fully intend to start promoting our podcasts on TikTok. On the TikTok, because that's where the kids are, and all the kids are dying to know what we think about running scared. You can go to Dorking.
All the millennials.
You can go to dorkingoutshow.com. All of our episodes are there. You can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. We just got an email with some requests, and I sent it to you, Margo, because somebody would really like us to talk about practical magic. And
I'd be into that.
And I was like, I think that would be a fun one for October. So I put it on the list. And you can find us at Dorking Out Show on Twitter, and you could go to our Facebook and complain about our language, but we don't really respond to people there because fuck off. We don't care.
Fuck them.
But this was really fun. Adam, I can't wait to meet you in person, and thank you for coming on to talk about running scared with us.
No, thanks for having me, and I'll see you next weekend.
Sweet freedom.
Shout